Welcome to Pop Culture Pausecast with me, Bill from Pop Culture Pause Screen, and as always, my buddy Mike. How you doing, Mike?
I'm good. I'm happy. I'm excited to be here.
Good. And we've got a very special guest today, the retro enthusiast, retro streamer, only streams with original hardware, spreading positivity, and all-round cat lover, Game Mistress.
Hi, it's so nice to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
Thanks for spending some time with us. We can't wait. And I have to start the right way with the funniest thing and the thing that made me become an instant subscriber to your Twitch channel. And it's a quote from you, if I may, Teresa. It's on your Twitch channel. It says, "Life is like arse. You either have one or you act like one." I love that. Where the most important question of this whole podcast is, why is that not on a t-shirt, and why can I not buy that from your merch stand?
I'll promise I'll put it on a t-shirt and you can buy it.
You have to. I want a Game Mistress t-shirt with that saying on it. It's a missed opportunity and it has to happen.
Do you want the arse emote as well?
I'll leave it up to your own creative mind. I am not qualified to make that choice, but I'm just like, where do I buy that t-shirt was my biggest question off the back of that. But yeah, make it happen again. But thank you so much for joining us on this podcast. We are going to be talking all things Game Mistress, content that she has created, and talking all things games. So I guess the best place to start is sort of tell people a few things about yourself. So I've doing some research. I haven't stalked you, so don't worry. I stayed away from that, or at least I hope so. You didn't notice me.
Hold on, I hear someone knocking on my door, and I'm just kidding.
No, I went past the window a few times, but you didn't notice. But like, I first saw your content when you were doing a stream on Twitch, and I'll explain what it, because I was like, well, big deal, everyone does that, but what it was is for once I was like, I'm going to find someone new. And I went through the homepage and I was scrolling through, and there's loads of, and there's nothing wrong with this if you do it well, great. If it's working for you, fantastic. But there's loads of gameplay with a disembodied floating head playing random games. And then I found Game Mistress sitting there playing original hardware, where you actually had the console at the top. You're playing Sega Saturn. Logged on, and I was just blown away by the fact that you actually knew your stuff. You were funny, you were entertaining, and you also knew about the stuff you would buy. You actually done the research before you bought it. So is that what you do the most now, would you say? Is that correct?
Yes, well, Twitch is primary as Twitch and secondary as YouTube, because they're two different complete beasts, and because I'm partnered on Twitch, I cannot stream on other platforms. I'm actually sealed to be, or I'm actually locked in to be on Twitch because of my partnership contract.
Right. And is that are you allowed to? I'm going to put you on the spot, but feel free not to answer that. Is that a good thing? Do you think that's the way it should be?
No, I feel they're being greedy because, alright, time to roast the platform. Because the top 10 or 100 streamers, I don't know how many, they have the big contract where Twitch pays them. Us smaller partners, we don't have that deal, so they just pay us the same amount as affiliates.
Right.
Maybe, and I'm like, then why is the big deal if I stream on a different platform? What's your problem? Are you jealous or something? So no, I think it's a shitty deal, to be very honest. Because as a company owner, you want to experiment on different platforms, and Twitch is kind of nailing the coffin there.
Yeah. Well, it does sound like a one-way street, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's a shame. But you are still active on YouTube. You are still uploading videos and doing things like that. And you started your history on YouTube, like many of us, doing Let's Plays and vlogs and cat videos and things like that. But it was, and I can see why, your how-to videos that sort of blew up for you. Is that right? Where that got most of the views and the biggest response. And then from there, you've kind of expanded your empire.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So my how-to videos, basically, I'm also trying to educate people how to get old, ancient games to run on Windows 10, because a lot of people want to play retro games, but the operating system's like, I don't like it, I don't want to get it to work. Actually, you can get it easily to work, but people don't know about these tools.
No, that's right.
I used to work in IT. IT was my old job before I became a content creator. So luckily I have that knowledge to help me and help others to get ancient games to work on Windows 10, even 11. But I'm not going to install 11 anytime soon because it's crap.
Same here. I've stayed away from it for the same reasons. But that was my point. I've also got a base in IT, and it was refreshing to sort of, when you go to these how-to videos, it's kind of like a 50-50 kind of thing. Yeah. When I saw your stuff, I was like, damn, she actually knows what she's talking about, and this is good. And instant click that button, subscribe. And I think that was the sort of the biggest sort of catch to me, to sort of watch you on your week, your uploads and weekly videos. The biggest one, and I need to say thank you for this, is you taught me how to play Alien Soldier.
You're welcome.
Because I've sucked at that game forever, and I couldn't ever get past, like, I played a lot of hard games, but it was just sometimes you pick up a game, you go, I don't know if I can learn this, and Contra is another one I've never been particularly good at. Your play-by-play on how to play Alien Soldier was super useful, and now I can enjoy that game, so thank you very much for that.
A lot of people made how to play Alien Soldier, but they made it more like a bragging right. I played this ASAP. Like, they didn't go into the steps that you need to do to get the bosses down. Because people are like, oh, I just have to be quick. No, actually, there is a mathematical calculation with the weapons, when to dodge, and you can actually deflect. And people don't know it because everyone's too busy bragging how good they are, instead of thinking, why can't this person kill this boss? Oh, yeah, because it took me about 14 years to master that game. It was hard. I got my teeth kicked in as a child when I played Alien Soldier.
Yeah, that's it. And I think you didn't start with saying, this is what we're going to talk about, and it took 20 minutes to get into it. First thing you said, this is my weapon setup. Yeah. And you just said, choose this weapon, choose that weapon, and this works for me, and why. And then next part, you didn't spend ages going, and this button is jump, and this button is shoot, because you knew full well that most people will work that out on their own. You don't need that in the video. You went straight into the most important thing in Alien Soldier is to learn where to stand. Yeah. And you took us through that and took us through the boss, and I loved it. I sat there. It made a very boring day at work super entertaining, and when I went home, I could actually get past the first boss in Alien Soldier. So.
Awesome! Oh my god, the first boss killed me a few times as well when I was a kid. Even my sister couldn't beat it. Like, what is this for, Danger Noodle?
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's the kind of content you can expect from Game Mistress. But also, you've got some very funny content on there.
Oh yeah, the Sonic NES review.
Yeah, that one. The one that got me the most was the Twitch stream as well, where you got 50 subs and got a cake in the face.
Yeah.
That was particularly funny. Maybe for everybody else but you.
At least I got some cream in my mouth.
Yeah. Well, that, and you also ran off into the kitchen and got I think it was your partner. Is it your partner or? Yeah. You got him back as well, which was very funny to hear you screaming.
Oh yeah, I took another kick and fruit on his face as well.
That's it. So is that the kind of stuff that you have always done on Twitch? Is that what have you just learned that over the time? Do you borrow things from other people? Where do you get your inspiration from?
It started last year when I was invited to do a very big charity event with War Child UK, and I'm like, okay, war is depressing, war is shit. How can we make the stream funny while raising money for War Child or mental health streams like the Samaritans in the UK? Mm-hmm. Why'd I get pied in the face? That's brilliant. I mean, even if you raise money for good cause, you don't have to be depressing about the thing. You can twist it and make it fun for the viewers to watch, like, hey, this is fun. I want to donate money towards this. That's how we did it.
Yeah, and I think it's being that inventive, kind of thinking outside of the box that sort of makes you stand out, doesn't it? And sort of getting the ideas. With your how you do your videos as well, because you're quite varied. Do you find that trying to get, because there's lots of people who just do, I don't know, fighting games, and there's other people who just do shooters and stuff like that, because you do so much and you're quite broad, do you find it difficult to find your audience from time to time, especially in things like YouTube?
Yes, we're still experimenting which direction to go. So far, honestly, my Sonic videos have been doing the best. Well, Sonic is trending at the moment with the movies and Sonic Origins, and I do love Sonic. But the thing is, when you also review games, you're going to tackle different games. That's just the nature of it. So you have to be a bit creative how to attract the audience. So I'm trying to do it with humor, memes, and stupidity.
And it's working.
always that worry when something catches on that you're going to pigeonhole yourself into sort of a certain thing. Like as much as great as Sonic is, it's sort of like not all you want to do, and that's it.
Yeah.
I feel like you got to sort of change before you go too deep, because then if you do like 5 Sonic stuff streams in a row, then people are going to think you're a Sonic channel, and it's kind of hard to sort of find that.
Yeah.
So tell everyone, no, I do a bit of everything. I promise.
That's why you have to have different buckets, as they call, like once a week. Like once you do Sonic, then maybe the next you do a comparison video or Let's Play. So you have like different back buckets on YouTube. So people are like, oh, she does more than Sonic, and then you will target a better audience. But I feel that in 2022, growing a YouTube channel, gaming orientated, is harder than, let's say, a tractor channel or a cleaning toilet channel. Those probably exist as well, or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, especially our stuff. I'm much worse than Mike. I tend to just, if I feel like doing it, I make a video of it. I really don't look at what's trending at all, and that's mainly to my detriment. But I don't do it for that reason. Are you very much the same? Do you sort of do videos you want, or do you feel that if you want to be successful, you have to sort of look for those trends, and like your how-to videos? Are you more compelled to do those, say, over something that's not getting as many views?
I do it because I want to do it.
Great.
But like the Sonic review, that was an accident. I had no clue Sonic was trending. The next day I was like, where all these people came from? Wait, what? Oh, Sonic is trending. Okay, so next time I want to do a Sonic comparison because it was in the backlog. I got the OSSC to work. Like, oh, people like that. Video editor, we need more humor, please. It's like, yes, I know you enslaved me to my computer. I get it.
Is that where you get like most of? Talk us through your creation process. Do you literally record a load of footage and then paste it all together, or do you just have an idea in your head where you kind of have a script of what you want to do? What kind of the coin are you on? Where do you stand?
I get an idea and I feel in my head, I want to do Mario, I want to kill him 10 times a day. Okay, I don't have a script, the script comes naturally because I can't fake a script. If I follow a script, it becomes too robotic, the jokes won't come, the songs won't come, the lewdness won't come, so I just have to go by the flow. And then I just talk all kinds of nonsense in the video, like I have the bad habit to say exactly what I think at that given moment. And then I give the footage to my husband, who's my video editor. He's like, haha, she said that. Okay, let's make it worse, shall we? So he's like, all right, revenge time. And then there you go, things happen.
So you do literally do things on the spot, like like on your Twitch channel. You treat your videos the same way. Do you know what? That's not a surprise to me, because I don't think you can make up your dancing pixie. Well, I think it's from World of Warcraft or Guild Wars, where I don't know what game it was, because it's not a game I play, but when I was watching that, it was a bit like a car crash, because I was watching it go, what is this? But at the same time, I couldn't look away.
Oh, that was probably Guild Wars too, like with the Killer Bunny, because I remember I was questing on my alt, and then this bunny throws me over the cliff, like, can I? Okay, let's record this. Can I do this again? Oh my god, and this time, let's make a Monty Python joke out of it. Let's just do it.
Yeah, it's great stuff. It is, honestly. I think your randomness and the fact that you do, you do things off the top of your head is one of the things, like I say, that just sort of pulls in your audience, and that's clearly working from you from what you've seen on there.
I can give you a bad example. Yesterday we were playing that horrible arcade port of Toki to the Mega Drive, which is a complete different game altogether. And part of me is like, I don't want to play that shit game again. Like, okay, let's play. Well, how can we make this game fun? Let's just corrupt the game. So we started talking about how the monkey's shooting these big balls of steel at people, like he puts the balls in his mouth and shoots at them. And then suddenly one of my viewers says, did you monkeys have intercourse? That's how they communicate. Like, okay, and then the jokes just started to roll. That's it. The whole stream went to Loot Town. Like, they're saying, so that I said, do they have sex when they say hi? Yes, they got a hump star for hi. So if they hate each other, does it become BDSM then? Or something like that. Like, oh dear. And we ended up talking about monkey stars for 2 hours straight.
Nice. That's a lot of stamina for those monkeys.
Yes.
There's some stamina-powered monkeys. And
a lot of...
Sorry, go ahead.
A a lot of humans were shamed that day, you know? Like, I wish we could perform like that.
I think that's that spontaneous, like, snowballing that like I said, I find it very difficult. As much as I love video games, as much as I respect a lot of the streamers that I speak to and interact to, I find it very difficult to watch raw footage that isn't edited. I'm very much a YouTube guy. But with yourself, it was very different that all that time when I got that compelling to say, okay, this is cool, I'm going to subscribe, I'll check in once in a while and say hi, but I'm not going to maybe watch a stream from beginning to end. Then you'll say something, I'll laugh, and I've dropped what I'm doing and I'm watching you. And I was like, how has she done this? She's got some sort of magic spell. But yeah,
I also have the bad habit to break games when I play, and like I get stuck or just something stupid happens because I love bug testing. Yeah. And these old games are not patched, so sometimes I'm like, oh, come on, we locked the frigging game up because I humped the floor too often or something. That actually happened because I like to spam the down button for floor humping, and suddenly the character rolled off this map like, oops.
I've just destroyed like 4 years of someone's hard work and effort.
Yes. Oh, that happened. The indie dev sent 2 of the games. I was playing Flea for the Dreamcast live on my midnight stream. And I had 200 lives and 1 boss. I had to fight 2 worms. I kept dying over and over again. And the Dreamcast is emulating an NES game. Yeah. So the emulator crashed on me. The pixels were corrupt. I'm like, is this normal? And the dev's like, this doesn't normally happen. And the bug was so severe that the ending got corrupted, sent me back to dev. It's like, this doesn't normally happen. What the heck? And I managed to reverse engineer the bug so I could finish the game. And then another game that was sent to me to the Dreamcast, I completely fucked up the title screen because I was so fast in. It was a hard game, it kept dying. That there was a major RAM leak corruption I caused. The pixels got corrupt and everything. Dreamcast like, nope, restarting. And they thought it was my copy. So the dev tried his copy. I told him exactly what I did. He's like, oh no! Back to the drawing table.
So developers, if you're listening to this podcast and you want the best reviews and footage for your game, definitely send it to Games Mistress, because she will make sure she makes your game look the best it possibly can.
So you should have streamed Cyberpunk a couple weeks before it came out.
That's too easy, Mike.
Yes.
That's clearly too easy for someone as talented as Games Mistress.
You know what I did the first 2 minutes when I made a character in Cyberpunk? Helicopter dance.
It's easier to sort of look back at YouTube stuff and sort of see where people were interested in your stuff. Not so easy on Twitch. What video or what kind of era did you do on Twitch where people started radiating towards you? What was there a moment where you did a slight change to your brand, or was there something that you did that made people go and stand up and make it pay attention?
Right. So I used to play modern games where I actually stream on Twitch. In the end, I hated it because I'm sorry to say, modern games bore me to death because they don't have the same. They don't have the same creative process and limitation that made the retro games so great. So I used to have once a week Retro Fridays, and I didn't have my original setup yet because I was missing not the capture card, the upscaler. Finally, when the upscaler came, I decided 1 week to play once a week on original hardware on the Dreamcast, and more people came in. And then on 2020, I said, fuck it, I'm going full retro. Let's have Soul Reaver. 100 people showed up like, hi, who are you guys? That's it. And I stayed retro ever since. Because I just love retro because I grew up with stuff.
Awesome.
When you do your streaming, then what is it why do you choose specifically to go for original hardware over, obviously because it's so easy on a PC to boot up an emulator and start streaming that way? Why is it that you feel like so dedicated to doing it on original hardware?
I can give you many reasons. Shall we start?
Go for it.
Go for it.
All right, let's not trash the PC yet. Reason 1, I have a lot of original consoles lying around. It'd be a damn shame never to use them again. They deserve the spotlight. Yeah. And 2, a lot of people, some people said, I have never seen the Sega Dreamcast. I've never seen the Xbox Crystal Edition. Is that a PC engine? I like to give that experience like, hey, you never seen the console before? No problem. You can see it now. You can ask me in my stream to show something. I'll show it. No problem. This is how you set it up. Free education. I want to show people that you can set up it very simply. It's easier than most people think it is.
Yeah.
And there's something more rewarding having the physical game working perfectly, smoothly on the original hardware because people see, oh, they didn't have micro DLCs or loot boxes back then. This is the product you got at the end. For emulation, I have my fair share experience with emulation. Let's take Nintendo 64. That console cannot be emulated. It's a piece of crap. If you try, the game just crashes. It's slow. And it depends on your PC settings. Sometimes the emulator will be too fast or too slow, too laggy. There's too much issues with the hardware and the software depending how well or how bad
2D graphics on N64, for example, never looks right on an emulator.
Yeah, it won't, because the N64, they call it the supercomputer back then because of how the damn system is built with all the chipsets and whatnot.
Yeah.
It's just hard to emulate. Even Nintendo are fucking the emulation for the Switch at the moment.
Are you listening, Mike? I hope you're listening to all of this, because she's preaching some golden stuff and you need to pay attention.
I can't afford all these retro consoles.
I was going to get to that. I do not have anything against emulation. Retro consoles and games are too shitty expensive. I agree. I think it's disgusting. People are asking the prices they are today. They should be ashamed. They both should be hanging from trees because even modern games are cheaper. Let's say I want to play Conker's Bad Fur Day. Yeah, £200, please. That game is not even worth £200. It's retro. Gimme. Like, Super Mario Brothers. Maybe if you're lucky, £60 complete in box, depending where you go. An old Dreamcast. If you're unlucky, you probably will pay between £100 to £200, not even complete in box, depending again. So I have nothing against emulation. I understand why people go to it, but once you emulate, as I said, the PC will change things. It will not feel like the original hardware, and you know what? Setting up with a controller like this, try to play Legend of Zelda with this controller here. It's not going to work because you're missing the C buttons. It's just not going to feel natural.
Yeah, I totally agree, especially when you start to... Because I'm very much a retro collector. A lot of what I do is physical hardware. That's, again, one of the reasons I came across your stream, because I was like, oh, cool, someone who feels the same way I do. But getting those gaps in my collection these days, as you've found yourself with Panzer Dragoon Saga, you kind of had to just bite the bullet and get it because of the fact that people charge an arm and leg for it. And some of these games, I think it was one of your members that actually said something about the price of games in the chat while you were busy, which is an interesting way of thinking about it. People should be able to charge what they want for games, but I mean, there comes a point where you're not going to get that money and it's just going to sit on that shelf. But it's knowing whether the game is worth it. And I think one of your... I'm really sorry, I can't remember who said it in your chat when I was on that stream, but they said something that resonated with me. It's like, if it's a game that you play and it's a life game, then it's worth whatever you want to pay for it. It's a game you're going to keep forever, replay multiple times and love, then it can be any price, and that price will be worth it. And that what made me think, well, yeah, Panzer Dragoon Saga for me is a life game. It's a game I always go back to, and if I paid £600 for it, fair enough, I probably would have earned it. But I don't see anybody doing that with Teddy Boy on the Master System, for example. It's
Glover for Nintendo 64, definitely £10,000 game.
But and I think games should be played. And there's a certain. I tell you a quick story. I recently tried to get a collection of Shantae from Limited Run Games for the Switch. The only one I'm missing is Pirate's Curse.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know Limited Run Games really sort of started until after that game. That was one of the first ones they done, apparently. I went into their Discord, not to say any disrespect to Limited Run Games, they run a quality product most of the time. I went into their Discord, as they advised me, to say, maybe there's someone in there that could offer it. Someone's offered me one for like £400. And I was like, can we bargain? He says, all right, chuck a price at me. I was like, I don't know, 80? The whole Discord came down on me like a ton of bricks. Like I was ripping this guy off. Like I was. So you'd think I would have stabbed his first child with the way they were reacting. And I was like, dude, it's a video game. You'd said chuck a price at me, and I did. But do you where do you draw the line? Because I know you bought Panzer Dragoon Saga for that stream, and you had a good stream, and you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And is there a certain responsibility for you to go out there and sort of say, these games are worth it, these games are not? Do you feel that you are compelled to do that?
I'm going to be completely honest. I don't think any game is worth past the price you pay at launch, because these collectors, they buy a game and they hang it up on the pedestal like, you should never open it. I'm like, oh, come on. Games are meant to be opened and played and sniffed at and whatnot and blow it out if you want. What is this? We're not collecting medieval weapons or World War II stuff. This is video gaming. You children should enjoy. This is something everyone should enjoy.
Yeah, and I get the same thing with like people saying, why are you playing your Sega Saturn stuff? You've got because I bought a lot of my Sega Saturn on launch because it's one of my favourite consoles. It's like, why are you doing that? Eventually it's going to corrode and break and you won't be able to play it anymore. I'm kind of like, well, I got the game to play it, right? That's the whole point. It's if I wanted a poster, I would have bought a poster.
Exactly, that's what I say. So because some people are like, don't open your mint condition of Banjo-Tooie. Why not? I'm going to stream it someday. But you paid mint condition money. Yes, because I couldn't find a cheaper copy. So I shelled out £100 for it. Big deal.
Yeah, and I especially like the ones where you do that live and you get those people in the chat who go, no, don't do it. And you're like, yeah! They're the ones I particularly like. Hey, you! Yeah, you! Do you like video games? Do you like kick-ass characters? Do you like action and adventure? Then you should go to RagingDestiny.com and get your copy of Raging Destiny, an action-packed fantasy fiction today. A novel written by a gamer for a gamer. That's right, written by me, Bill, from Pop Culture Pause Screen. It's a non-stop thrill ride with in-depth characters that very well could be your next favourite franchise. There isn't any slowing down in this book, oh no. Every chapter is designed to keep you reading and wanting to know what happens next. You can find out more at RagingDestiny.com, and I thank you in advance for your support. Now, back to the show.
Another reason why I'm using original hardware.
Right.
Yeah.
So a lot of people don't know this, but actually, if you don't own the ROM, it's actually a criminal offense. It's actually illegal. A lot of people know this. I'm not going to go around and saying, hey, it's illegal what you're doing. Don't do that. But Twitch have a very nasty history of saying one day, hey, you won't get in trouble. And then 5 years later, they can ban you for the channel because you did something wrong.
Yeah.
Right.
So if you own the game, you're more than welcome to use the ROM. That's why I don't use CDRs on stream, because I would love to educate people. By the way, you can use a CDR on SAT without breaking with this, but I don't trust Twitch's business moves, and they give the responsibility to the streamer. So they can change the rules overnight, and I can get banned for something that happened 5 years ago.
Is there anything that you sort of feel restricted from, like the policies and terms and conditions they have, where you think, oh man, I wish I could do this and it would be really cool, but I can't because...
Yeah, they just banned a word, an English word. They banned the word cracker.
Cracker?
Yeah, like cheese and crackers. Because cracker in America is some kind of white man slang. That's
right.
why I didn't even know about it. So if I say cracker accidentally on stream, they can ban me.
What? That's random. But I suppose, I mean, in Twitch's defense, I can't imagine there's necessarily people that go, right, here I am today, my business decision is we are not going to use the word cheese and crackers. Now let's roll that out and see what happens to the millions that use our platform. Clearly there's a reason they put these things in place.
Yes, they did, because some of the political streamers were going a bit too far, calling their audience some racistical slurs. I'm like, come on, mods, you can use common sense. If I'm going to say cheese and crackers, I'm not calling Mike or Bill a cracker. I'm eating cheese and crackers. I'm English. Don't take my English rights away from me.
Yeah. I mean, we live in a country where we call cigarettes fags, so I think it's a bit...
Don't say that on Twitch. Don't say that on Twitch.
No,
people just need to use common sense and
it's hard, but I mean, it's kind of a grey area a lot of the times, isn't it? You want your mods to stand in. That's why they're there. If that's the purpose of them. But then when Twitch decide to sort of come down with their hammer and overrule everything regardless, it's kind of like, well, what power do we have, and where's the common sense here?
My mods reads the TOS more than I do, and they even have to overrule me sometimes. They're like, GM reads DMs, like, oh, okay, thank you, because they look after me. They're awesome.
Yeah, That's right.
I'll give you know when you said you got the whole Shantae community pitchforking after you because you mentioned the price?
Well, it was the limited run games Discord. It wasn't the Shantae community necessarily, but I went to their Discord and said I want is this price feasible? And all of them were like, "Are you crazy? It's at least £200." And I was like, well, I don't know.
Yesterday, I upset the whole Sonic community.
What did you do? Did you say you like Sally Acorn?
I hate her. Okay, so I made my latest YouTube video blew up a bit. I made a video about how to change Sonic's color palette using debug mode with not using any cheat devices on original hardware.
I saw that.
And then Sonic became green, so I called him Shadak the Hedgehog as a joke, because I was making fun of the community members who make these very weird, kinky, I don't like that. So I was like, black hair and Shadak. Then the community's like, that's not Shadak, that's Ashura, how dare you, stupid person. Like, who the fuck is Ashura? It's some kind of Hindi demon. And
how are you supposed to know that?
Oh, this gets even better. The name is not Ashura. The community made it up because somebody memes the name. So I take only fact from the developers, not what the community does. I don't care. And the community got like, it's Shadak the Hedgehog. And yet I'm like, this is like the 50th time I'm hearing this now. Can you please pay me money when you say that? This is getting annoying. So my community saw this. They all went to YouTube and like, we need Shadak t-shirts and that kind of stuff. Only because I named Green Sonic away from the meme. I'm like, wow, the Sonic community gets butthurt over nothing.
Well, I haven't ran into the Sonic community yet, but definitely in the retro collecting community, I'm constantly starting fires.
Same. Somebody got offended because my Dreamcast one of my Dreamcasts I fixed has a tiny black scratch.
Right.
Somebody thought it was a cat hair, and they said, your Dreamcast needs cleaning. And I said, my goodness, it must be fun to be bitter every day. The person blocked me right away.
Okay. It's like, of all the things to be upset about with somebody, it's kind of like, yeah, your cat hairs are in the wrong place. What, dude?
Or even better, I don't see a 32X. Why do you hate the console? I don't. So next time I said, can you please send me a 32X? Because I can't afford one. They cost £300 here. And they're like, I don't have one either. Why were you crying about it? They just leave. Like,
but again, I think you're very quick on your feet, and I think you need to do that and be thick-skinned and sort of make a joke of it when you're on Twitch on a live situation. I think there's many ways of dealing with it. I don't think there's a right answer for every situation. But I particularly like the way where someone says stuff, because I've been there. I've watched your stream where someone's sort of thrown something out of left field, and I'm thinking, I wouldn't know what to say to that. And then you come up with some amazing one-liner right off the top of your head where you don't even necessarily know what it means, but you've said it, and it's out there, and then we just all laugh and move on. And I think that's the best way to sort of be on Twitch.
oh my god, somebody once came and asked me they could see my boobs. I'm like, yes, of course, hold on. So I give him a picture of blue-finned boobies, which is basically a blue seagull or whatever. And I said, you want to see my tits and my cock as well? Here's a picture of a chicken. Here's a picture of these smaller birds.
Well, it's a shame that you have to put up with that, but yeah, it's that kind of reaction where that quick, thinking on your feet that does that. Which brings me on, like, one of my questions that I had lined up here was kind of, what is your most ideal subscriber? If you had to sort of explain to somebody, look, my content is for you, what do you envision that person to be like?
Like what I expect of them?
Yeah.
I have all kinds of phobia. I don't mind if the person lurks and stream and he just enjoys the show and maybe tells me afterwards. Or ideally, they see something stupid happen and they add more jokes. I can snowball off that. We can start a whole stupid, shitty mess, which just gets even more funny. So somebody comes in like, oh, that snowball looks like white donkey poop. I'm like, oh, really? Let me tell you a story about the Himalayan mountains about white donkey poop raining on the gods because it's a blessing from that country or something. Just something random. If someone says something random to me, I like to give random back and then just snowflakes. Or people just there having a good time, sharing their experiences about why they like this game, or maybe giving me some information I didn't even know about. So those are my ideal subscribers.
There you go. So if that meets your description, you know where to go to sort of jump on there. And what about the other way around? Is there anybody that you particularly watch, maybe on YouTube, on Twitch, that you sort of tune in all the time? I know it's really difficult being a content creator. You struggle sometimes. My watch list on YouTube is about 2 months old. So the reason I watched your Shadak the Hedgehog or whatever was because I was going to speak to you today and I wanted to watch some of your latest content. But otherwise, I would have been about 2 months behind trying to catch up. But is there anybody that you watch, that video hits in and you're definitely watching it?
So streamers, I watch Trista Bytes, AF Retro, Forla, big world record holder in Sweden because they're all very nice people. Atten A, he's a friend of mine. He streams Mario Maker, but he's hilarious, and I love to troll him because I'm his mod. I'm always like trying to make the chat a bit more lewd, and they all jump on it, which is awesome. He's like, "Oh God, GM is here. Just go away." That family games. Past the Plunger. This is Marta, also amazing. I watch a lot of people on Twitch. Contra, another one. There's so many people. It's hard to diverse yourself. And on YouTube, I actually watch speed eaters like Beard Meets Food.
Right.
Red Hot Sonic is actually a retro Sonic content creator. I watch him a lot. And Terminal Wanted, she's basically someone who animates all these old games and does something about Kirby. You see like bunch of explosions, parody him farting on screen and riding off to a star, like silly childish stuff I like. So those are some of the people I watch, and they're all amazing.
You managed to fit all that in, because that's quite an achievement on its own, managed to watch all those people. But yeah, I mean, and I'm sure you've missed other people by the sounds of things. Cause
I'm very sorry if I didn't mention all my awesome friends and so on, just because it's a big list.
And that's my fault if she's missed someone, because I literally just sprung that question on her. So don't go and blame her.
Mel plays games, another one. She does try to finish a game in 4 days. Also pretty awesome.
Wow.
She's from Norway. I mean, there's so many people there. There's so many in the retro community.
Yeah. But it's like you said, I think it's amazing you managed to squeeze them all in, because I really struggled to do that. So both a watcher and a maker. Great stuff. Great stuff. Well,
I wanted to ask, as someone who obviously plays on original hardware and collects games and stuff, is there any particular either game or like gaming accessories that you've kind of got at the top of your list? That thing that's like so far out of reach, but you really want it? Is there that one thing?
Holy Grail.
Yeah.
I have to think, because that was Saga, which I have now after a very sad story, because I got 2 copies of Saga actually. 1 copy broke.
Oh dear.
How did it break?
The seller broke. The seller sold me Saga for 7,000 crowns, which is maybe what, £550 or something. Disc 2 was broken, so when I came to Disc 2, the Saturn's like, nope. I tried out my other Saturn, nope. Tried another Saturn, nope. And we sent the game to be resurfaced. The shop broke the disc accidentally in 2 because they did something wrong with the resurfacing. And they gave me the money back. Then AF Retro said, here, you can have my copy. Just buy it off me. I'm like, thank you. I'm just thinking the holy grail of gaming I want. It's a Castlevania game for the PlayStation. It's SOTN. I keep forgetting the Symphony of the Night.
Oh yeah.
That one. That one's really expensive to get hold of.
I got mine on the Sega Saturn.
Yeah, that is the Japanese one, right?
Yeah, but I also got a translated one.
I have this. Is it CDR?
Yes.
You have to give me the files afterwards, please.
I've got it burnt on a disc. There's a chap on Instagram who Jonathan, who does a lot of he repurposes. Well, he burns the games onto a disc, but he makes it look like it was made in Europe. That he makes the cases and everything else for it as well. So he did me a really nice looking Castlevania Symphony of the Night for Sega Saturn sort of burn and things like that. So
at least hook me up with him, because I'll definitely buy a copy of him.
Absolutely. I'll have to. There's a video on my channel to go through it all. But I will after this podcast. I'll hook you up, because he deserves all the attention he can get, because he makes great stuff.
Awesome. Accessories. I want the PC Engine CD-ROM drive and the TurboGrafx. Those 2 machines. Because the CD-ROM drive and the PC Engine Duo, I think that is a really expensive console. I can't find it here. And of course the Neo Geo. That's also super expensive. I saw one for £1,000 here.
Yeah. We've got quite a few Neo Geo lovers in our community, haven't we, Mike?
Yeah, we have. I don't understand the appeal, but you know.
Mike is known for his hot takes. Okay, so
That's completely fine. That just
when
makes
we-
him even more awesome.
when we go on to our next segment, which is all about IPs in video games, you're going to hear a lot of hot takes from Mr. Ritiques down here. So, you know.
Oh yeah, and the 32X Knuckles Chaotix. Those are the game I obviously don't have, and I am a Sonic collector, so the 32X would be wonderful to have with Knuckles Chaotix.
Why was Knuckles Chaotix not on any game collection? I mean, Sonic Gems collection on a GameCube immediately comes to mind. Why was it not on that collection?
It did so bad that Sega kind of wanted to put it underneath the rug. That's
Yeah.
why it wasn't a traditional Sonic game and people felt cheated. Let's just be honest, Sonic CD wasn't evil. It wasn't Yuji Naka who made Sonic CD, it was another producer. That's why the physics are god-awful, and thank goodness they're fixing that in Origins. I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of angry Sonic fans on me again, like, how dare you! Shadak,
She likes Sonic, really! The thing about Sonic CD, just talking about that, we'll go on to IPs and talk about that, but I think, you know, you're a big Sonic lover, you've mentioned that to me before, and, you know, Mike is up and down depending on the Sonic quality. I myself, I think there's a lot of good ones, and I have a lot of hot takes about which people think are good ones and things like that. Sonic CD took the longest time for me to enjoy, and it was actually the instruction manual that made me understand something that everybody else in the community said you couldn't do. And it sounds silly now with the internet being what it is, but back then I didn't know. And it was because everyone had told me you have to go back in time, find something hidden in the level, smash the machine, then go forward in time, yada yada. And I was like, I don't want to play a Sonic game really slowly scouring through the level. What people didn't say is if you get all the emeralds like a traditional Sonic game, that does all that automatically for the rest of the game.
Really?
Yep. So if
Man,
you
that's
find all
something
the
new.
emeralds in the game, the traditional way, by getting the end of the level and getting through the ring and getting the UFOs, once you've got all the emeralds, you will get the best ending.
Oh wow, yeah, that makes sense because in the comic, the Emeralds made sure it never happened.
So if you don't like Sonic CD because of all the stupid backwards and forwards through time and whatever, just if you go back in time, if you go forward in time, don't worry about it. So long as you're good with the emeralds, you won't need to worry, you'll get the best ending. And that game is so much better as a result.
That makes sense. There's something else I want to mention both with my Twitch and YouTube, my coffee and everything. One of the biggest engines that drives behind my streams is I donate 20% of my entire revenue to animal shelters around the world.
You do?
That's a very... Yes.
Yeah. I mean, that's front and centre, and I think that's fantastic. Was that always the plan? Or was that something
that
you
was
decided,
always
like...
the plan.
That was always the plan.
When I started streaming on Twitch after 2 months, my first charity was CP Chairwell in the UK, and we raised about, what was it, £800 or something?
Nice.
That was really, I think it was. I'm not 100% sure anymore. And I said to my husband, I want to continue to do this. But I can't always do charities, so what can I do? Because I used to be a volunteer for animal shelters. I saved 2-3 dozens of cats. I helped to tame the feral cats to get them new homes. I saved kittens from death. I saw quite a horrible things. And because of my illness, I couldn't do that anymore. Now I live in a small apartment. I can't even take in cats or dogs. So I'm like, okay, what can I do? Something positive with the stream besides being a mental health advocate and making people happy. I can make a difference with my community by donating 20% of my entire revenue. No matter how big or how small I am, it will always go to animal shelters.
Fantastic. And it's like that was always the plan. It's not as if you had to get to a certain point to make it like a revenue stream beforehand. That's amazing. That's really, really good. Well done.
Yeah.
Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. So yeah, go and check out Game Mistress on Twitch. So any donations or any part of you watching her goes towards that. So it's a great cause anyway. Go support her because she's doing some amazing work over on Twitch and YouTube. And go check her out. Right.
And that will also happen when I get my partnership back on YouTube. The ad revenue will also go to that. And you also asked before if there was something big I could mention or be part of.
Ooh.
I'm part of an American Nintendo magazine. They're going to start. They just had a Kickstarter, and I'm going to be one of the writers.
Wow. Okay. Is that an exclusive?
We're like a bunch of writers. They contact me, ask me if I want to be part of it, and some of the best speedrunners in the world are part of that as well or something. So they want me to cover all the games and PAL that never came out in America.
Great. And what's the name of the magazine?
It's called the NES Pro. Why didn't I remember that? NES Pro, it's called.
There we go. NES Pro. Awesome. And people can get... Is that like an online magazine or is it a subscription?
I wonder if they're going to print it, actually.
Oh, awesome. Do you know what? That seems to be a craze at the moment, haven't you found? Where like magazines and gaming magazines are making a comeback?
Yeah, I think that's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they said to me, write any way you want. Even write about why you think Sonic NES is so shit. Oh, I got so many reasons. I can't wait to share them all.
Are you allowed to write cheese and crackers in there, though? Are they...
I'll ask them.
Just push the boat out and see how far you can go before someone says, excuse me. And then you could just literally stand and go, you don't know what you signed on for.
They kind of do this. If you want to swear, that's cool. Our editors will make sure you don't offend anyone, because kids are going to be reading it. Yeah, but kids need to eat cheese and crackers. Hello.
Right. Well, you know, we've not said anything wrong. It's a key part of anyone's diet. That's what it is.
Yes.
Just say the innuendos you can sneak in there.
Oh, well, I do. I mean, I didn't even know that trouser snake was an innuendo until somebody said, you know, you're talking about an erection. Like, really? Let's use trouser snake even more then.
That's now a thing. Well, you could put like a cipher in your words. So like when people line up certain words, it sort of spells out something, and then go to issue 23, and if you look on page, you can start like a whole conspiracy off. That'd be brilliant.
Oh my goodness! You know, like the English word erect. This means it's standing straight.
Mm-hmm.
In American means, hey, you're in a funny mood, right? So I keep saying the word erect on stream. The Americans like, she's talking about erections again. Like, oh, that pillar's nice erect today. Must be very happy to see someone, right? And the Americans are like, oh, she's talking about the English people like, this is a normal word.
Well, so like the English people are supposed to be like the ones that are serious and kind of, you know, we're kind of very prim and proper. But if anything, it's the complete opposite.
Yeah, that's true.
It's the Americans that get more kind of like, oh, you can't say that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you, Games Mistress, for joining us on our podcast. It has been a joy, a pleasure, and a privilege. And I'm so glad you took time out of your day to be on the show. Can you tell the listeners where they can find you, social media and things like that for us?
So, you can first find me on Twitch, streaming retro games on original hardware with a bunch of lewd humor, mental health advocate, and I donate 20% of my revenue to animal shelters around the world. You can find me on YouTube, making fun of games, pissing the Sonic fandom off. No, I'm just kidding. I'm making all kinds of Let's Plays, reviews, and I put my own twisted humor on the YouTube video content. You can also find me on Twitter, where I'm just posting a bunch of retro and making people more happy with selfies and whatnot. I'm also on Coffee, which is like Patreon, where I write blogs, and sometimes Instagram, but mostly YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and Coffee.
Have you got a Discord as well?
I do have a Discord as well. You can actually just Google the Discord.
Yeah, we'll put it in the comments. You'll find all the links to Games Mistress stuff in any of the comments in the description below. So you can join that. And please show your support, because her content is great, very funny. And even if you look at stuff and go, oh, that's not maybe my thing, this might be the kind of live streamer that you've been sort of missing to sort of get the point of why Twitch is so popular. So go check her out. Thanks for listening to the Pop Culture Pausecast. Check the channel for other episodes, new podcast every Wednesday. Or, if you're one of the cool ones, you can watch some of my other videos right here on Pop Culture Pause Screen, or maybe catch me live on Twitch every Monday from 7 PM UK time. And show some love to my partner in crime, Mike, over at his YouTube channel, Mike Ritiques. Link in the description. He does some great game reviews, he really does. And if you want some action, adventure, and kick-ass characters in your life, then go over to ragingdestiny.com and get a copy of my book, Raging Destiny, a novel for gamers written by me, a gamer. You won't regret it, and I appreciate your support. That's ragingdestiny.com. You should have links to all of this in the description below, or on screen now for you to click. But for now, it's time to stop talking and go play some bloody video games. Catch you next time.